number one seed. And and the Super Bowl is going to have to go through New England if they keep playing like that. The schedule is favorable to the Patriots. Drake Maye is playing like an MVP. He's spreading the ball around. I mean, offense is looking incredible. Defense is playing well. So they got to keep it up. But they got the schedule that says, you know what, I can get a bye week. And then once you get into the playoffs, as you know, Wiggy, anything can happen. And if you're hot, like the Patriots are right now, hey, man, watch out. Watch out.
Ty, we talk about this every week. There's not much that you can, look at the Patriots and go, all right, complain about. But it seems like every week, and it doesn't seem like it's Christian Gonzalez that's the culprit of it, but it just seems like their pass defense, man. I don't know what it is. At times, I'm just like,
they got the number one run defense in the league.
Yeah, they got the number one run defense in the league. They don't let up a lot of points, but it seems like at times their pass defense struggles, whether it's their pass rush or their man-to-man coverage or just blowing coverages.
I said that the last 2 weeks is something missing in the secondary and on defense. And I can tell you, as a competitor, as a defensive back, you can't give up 100 yards receiving to any individual. I don't give a damn who it is, especially when you got all-pro, a top corner by the name of Christian Gonzalez out there on your defense. I don't understand it. I mean, they gave up how many 100-yard receivers, this year in the past few weeks. So I think if they get that together, and I think they just have to trust themselves, because I know they have the athletic ability to go out there. I can't put my finger on it either, other than you're not competing on an individual basis. You're not getting up and challenging receivers at the line of scrimmage. I hate to see cornerbacks, especially when you want to come out there and get the real bag. You better go up there and get in somebody's face. You better challenge them. Stop playing off.
Ty, you notice the thing I noticed, and you probably can see it better than I do, because even on Njigba's first touchdown, it looked like he was being covered or Marcus Jones was supposed to cover him. It seems like they don't match with Christian Gonzalez. Like, he doesn't follow around the best player. Is that something that you notice?
Yes, I've noticed that too, and I don't understand why. Maybe because of the injury, he's still, getting himself, going again. I mean, I don't know, but why not have someone with that type of talent and has all this upside? Why not give him the responsibility of being the number one guy and coaching him as such? And when you got a number one receiver over there, guess what? This is where you're going. I knew coming into every game where I was going. We played Indianapolis. I already know I got Marvin Harrison. We go to New York. I already know I got Keyshawn. Whoever the top guy is, Dallas, Michael Irvin. That's what you have to do when you have a number one corner, and you're supposed to want to accept the challenge. I don't know if he's going up to Coach Vrabel or not, but Christian Gonzalez, go to Mike Vrabel's office. I'm talking from experience. Just like Bill Belichick. I go to Bill Belichick's office. If he tried to put me on somebody else, I will go in there. No, we're not. I don't give a damn. He did the Reggie Wayne thing before. Hey, we're going to put you on Reggie Wayne and we're going to double Marvin. No, the hell we're not. I ain't covering no Reggie Wayne. What I'm going to cover Reggie Wayne for? I want Marvin. I ain't scared of Marvin. So you have to have that type of attitude as a corner. You got to want that challenge. So I think if he went up to Mike Vrabel, and like I said, maybe he has a nagging injury or something, but I think he needs to take it upon himself, especially when you want to get that contract. You want to take it upon yourself to get that bag. Take it upon yourself to go out there and earn it.
Ty, Vrabel, after the win, kept talking about how the guys earned being tired. They're all tired. That was kind of a major theme. They're also beat up. It's a short week. Is this game against the Jets set up to be a trap game of any sorts in your mind?
Tired? That's what? Said tired. You can't be tired right now. And guess what? And if you tired, everybody's tired. If you nicked up, everyone nicked up. It's mid-season going into the playoffs, so ain't nobody trying to hear none of that. Yeah, it's a short week, but you got to find a way to win, and that's what great teams do. So, and I don't want to hear nothing about, anybody's tired, because all 32 teams in the league, even if you stink right now, they're going to say they're tired. So, that's not an excuse, but you got to go out there and play ball. A short week. Guess what? You're playing against the Jets. The scheduling gods did you a favor. If you go out there, if you let the Jets be a trap game, that's bad. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'll be able to say next week if you lose this game. We expect you to win. We expect you to win convincingly. They let their top player go and go on to Indianapolis. That's going to be the challenge that I'm looking forward to seeing, because it's coming back to the old school, the Patriots versus Indianapolis. You know, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and and everybody else in between. But these two quarterbacks right now are both playing MVP. You're talking about that running back that they got down there. He's MVP. Drake Maye is in the MVP conversation. So I don't even give him a damn about Buffalo right now. Yeah, Baltimore is coming back, but the Patriots are number one, and the Super Bowl is going through Foxboro.
Wiggy gets offended when he hears it, but I'll ask you. There are comparisons being made between this team and the 2001 team. Any similarities from your perspective?
I mean, it's a similarity to how they playing, team football, and I think that's a great reflection of Mike Vrabel and the culture that he's creating around there now. So, I mean, there's similarities, but, I mean, we would whoop their ass right now at this point because we had more experience at the time, and I think we're overall better football team. Of course, I'm going to go with the teams that we was on. We won the championship, so you can compare that, right now because we won a championship. But there are similarities, Greg, in how they play as a team. You never know who's going to make the next play. You have a quarterback who is proving himself to be the real deal. I mean, the whole Tom Brady comparisons right now, I think you can, at such a young age, you can compare him to Tom Brady right now at this point in his career where Tom Brady was at, but it's hard for people to understand that. You can compare it. You can. Yes, you can compare it because where Tom Brady was at this point in his career. You know what I mean? So, it's just hard to fathom that somebody can be compared to Tom because of the totality of the career. He's the greatest of all time. So we're not going to get too excited, but you can make those comparisons, how he's distributing the ball to everyone. He's finding the open guy, making the right reads, man. So I'm real excited for Drake Maye and his future. But to say, Tom Brady in totality, hell no, we ain't going to do that. We're not going to disrespect the GOAT.
That is Ty's Drake Take, and it is presented by your New England Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.
Ty, I love hearing your conversations in the past about just how different the culture was with the Jets. Was it something that you noted right away? I think you told the story of players planning their off season in the tunnel heading into before a game started. Was it really that different playing in New York than it was playing here for the Patriots?
Yeah, it was. It was very different. And me coming, from the Patriots, you got to get in where you fit in. This is, Curtis Martin. I used to always talk to Curtis like, yo, Curtis, what the hell is this? Curtis, that's just how they do. Curtis was not very vocal or controversial, but, it was more like they was worried about the club in the tunnel coming out. I was like, who was talking about their car service? You know what I mean? So I didn't understand that one. No, I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. And then, the music. So you know how it was where you have on your headphones and you listen to what you want to listen to. Man, we had 10 DJs in there in New York. Man, I was like, what the hell? I mean, you got this music over here, everybody playing it loud, and I went over to Curtis. I said, Curtis, man, what the hell is this? I'm an outsider. If that was our locker room, we coming in right now and we like, oh hell no, we don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear what you listening to over there. I don't want to hear what you listening to. Everybody's fighting, for the music instead of being into themselves and getting into that zone. So it was a totally different, culture. It was looser. They let, players and the locker room leaders let everybody be themselves that way, but it wasn't conducive to winning. It wasn't a winning culture. And then coming from New England, like I said, we had more of a structure, and it made more sense. We did more winning, and I realized why, when I went there. But, hey, who am I? I'm just a guy that's a free agent. Obviously, hell, I got cut. I got fired, so I had to go in and get where I get in, get in where I fit in.
Time for the most entertaining play of the game, which is brought to you by Apex Entertainment. Visit 100,000 square feet of pure fun at Apex in Marlboro. Shime, Wiggy,
it's
Ty?
easy for me. It's Travion Henderson's second touchdown. The toss when he's running, he's like, should I go in the end zone, coach?
Yeah.
Like, for me, that was it. I thought that was it.
Yeah.
Ty, you agree?
Yeah, I agree, man. He had a hell of a game, even though that's a Buckeye, but he's on the Patriots now, so all is forgiven.
I think the Kyle Williams touchdown needs to be mentioned too, because man, that boy was flying down the sideline.
That throw.
Yeah, what was that boy's 40 time? I was looking at that too. I thought that was. You know how some of the TV or the film could just make you seem faster, Wiggy?
Mm-hmm. I think he's
you know
like a 4-3 guy. I think he's
a
4
flat.
4
flat.
4-4 flat. All right. Yeah, I thought it was like a 4-3. Yeah, that's moving.
Yeah, he got some game speed. Didn't I tell you that?
Yeah,
he was rolling.
He got another gear. And I think, Ty, it's interesting that you bring up the culture thing, because I've been on teams like that where guys are just like, all right, man, I'm ready to get up out of here. My bags are packed. And I think a lot has to do with the head coach and the culture that you create. And I think Vrabel comes from the world that we come from, where, you're not in there blasting your music. You're kind of focused and everybody's doing their own thing. And that's why I really I like this team, because of what Vrabel brings to the table in that element.
Ooh. Vrabel,
right? And Vrabel is the MVP as far as coaching. He is Coach of the Year. And I can't see no other candidate out there right now besides Mike Vrabel. And hats off to Mr. Kraft too, because this man hired somebody, fired him in 1 year. Man, maybe that's why he's a billionaire. He don't give a damn. I don't know, but he made the right choice. I don't like how it went down, kind of like with last coach.
Mayo.
With Gerard. With Mayo. It's like. It's like, man, damn, give him a chance. But at the same time, man, you look at it now, he made a hell of a decision, to bring Mike Vrabel back there and look at the Patriots now. They're back on top. So, kudos to Mr. Kraft, for making that tough decision. And that's why he is who he is,
Yeah, he had to admit that he was wrong. Like he
Big
was
balls.
He was out loudly proclaiming that he identified the next head coach 5 years ago, and so you're right about that, Ty. Like it takes a lot of guts. Takes a lot of guts to do that, and thank God he figured it out and figured out that Mike Vrabel's the right guy, because the turnaround is huge.
Yeah, because Gerard. To be honest, Gerard, he was one of Kraft's guys, you know what I mean? For a long time, I know he had a lot of respect for Mayo, but sometimes, being, in a position, of course not on that level, but being an entrepreneur, having your own company, sometimes you have to look at things and say, you know what, it's a good person, but you're just not the right person for the job. And the hardest thing for me to ever have to do was have to let somebody